Hello everyone, welcome to the class of Python programming. Let us understand today the powerful Lambda function, how we can organize the Python programming using Lambda function. As we have already seen, what do you mean by the user-defined functions and built-in function. Now let us understand today the Lambda function. Lambda function in Python programming. An anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name, while the normal functions are defined using the def keyword. Yes, isn't it? We have seen it in the previous videos that a function is having a keyword def and a name. So that all are called as a normal functions. But today we are going to learn an anonymous function which does not have the name. In Python, anonymous functions are defined using Lambda keyword. Hence, anonymous functions are also called as Lambda function. A Lambda function is a small anonymous function. A Lambda function can take any number of arguments but can only have one expression. Let us understand the syntax. A Lambda keyword, arguments or the parameters, colon or expression. Try to understand, it must have one expression. So let us see this with the help of some examples. Lambda creates anonymous functions. When I write lambda x colon x plus 1. So this is in a prompt, Python prompt. So when you write this, it creates a lambda at this. You can assign this function to one of the variable like f, and when you put f is as a parameter as 100, so where it goes x becomes 100, 100 plus 1, 101. So let us understand this in a prompt. Yes, let's see this. We have written lambda x colon x plus 1. So x is argument and x plus 1 is expression. So when I write here f equal to now it creates this lambda function and it is assigned to the f. And when I pass a value or a parameter, say 19, yes, it's a 19 plus 1, 20. You can pass any number of arguments, as now it is defined with a single argument. You can pass x as 100. So see the answer, I am getting 101. You can also find out a square of a number by using a lambda function. A variable square is defined and in that the lambda function is used. Lambda x is colon x to the power of 2. And simply when I write square of 12, so I am getting the result as a 144. Got it? So be careful with the syntax. So when I write f is equal to lambda x comma y colon 2 into x plus y. So the parameters or the arguments are x, which is written in a f. So when I pass the parameters f 3 comma 4, x refers to the 3 and y refers to the 4. So the result is x 2 into 3, 6 plus 4, 10. So when I have one more example, v is equal to lambda x colon x into x 100. So now this is the wrong syntax, or check the syntax. Why? Because when I print this v, the lambda function is created, but in this next example you can understand that the lambda function is lambda x colon x into x and the parameter we are passing is as 100. So the result we are getting is 10,000. Now let us understand some more functions, lambda functions. X is equal to lambda a colon a plus 10. When you write this and whenever you want to get pass any parameter to the lambda function, x of 5, a becomes 5. So the result is a plus 10, that is 5 plus 10, 15. So the output is 15. You can have a square. Just now I have shown the example. Next is that you can perform any addition, subtraction, multiplication, or any valid expression can be executed through the lambda function. So let us understand x is equal to lambda a comma b. So the arguments are a comma b colon, it performs the multiplication. So when I pass the parameters x 5 comma 6, so it performs the multiplication of 5 and 6, you get the answer as a 30. Similarly, I can perform the addition. Now let us understand the Python function is a lambda function in Python programming. Let us define a function def my function n colon. So is it a user defined function or lambda function? Yes, as this starts with def, it's a user defined function, and what you are defining, return lambda a colon a into n. So that means you are returning through a lambda function. So when I say my doubler equal to my function 2, so my function 2 means that n is now 2, so it will perform a into 2. So when I call a function print my doubler 11, so the parameter or the argument 11 is nothing but passed through this function. So the result becomes, it returns the value of 11 into 2, that is 22. So it returns output as a 22. Similarly, we can have any number of functions. So def my function is defined in the same way as above. So if I want to execute my doubler as my function of 2 square or the doubler, my tripler my function 3 as a tripler, and if I want to have the output for this function as argument 11, then it performs 11 into 2, 22, and when I want to pass a value 11 for the tripler, my tripler, then it performs 11 into 3. So the result is 33. Now let us understand few more concepts in Python programming. In Python, we have modules. What are modules? Modules are used to categorize code in Python into smaller parts. A module is simply a file where classes, functions, and variables are defined. Grouping similar code into a single file makes it easy to access. Let us understand. There are two types of the modules, system modules and user-defined modules. System modules means which are inbuilt in the Python programming, and user-defined means that you can define the modules and you can use them for the other files. What are the advantages? Yes, reusability. Module can be used in some other Python code. Hence, it provides the facility of code reusability. A code can be used multiple times. Categorization. Similar type of attributes can be placed in one of the module. Now let's understand using system modules, how we can access the files or the functions from the system modules. So we can do this by the three ways. One is by import keyword, second import as alias, and third from import. So let us understand the import statement. Import statement means that just write like import math. So from the math file or the math library, you are just extracting the code for the particular function. Say for example, print math.sin67. Yes, when the math library is imported, we will see how these examples are executed on a Python prompt. Yes, let's say import math. Now we can have the finding out the square root of 16. Yes, it's 4.0. Suppose I want to print math dot sin 90. Yes, it's 0.89. Like that, we can have print math dot pi value. Yes, it's 3.1415. Like this, by using import, we can import any libraries from a Python and we can have the functions on that, or we can use the values from that. The next one is that we can import using as. So that means alias. So instead of the whole library, the math is used as m. So the import math as m, then the statement becomes print m dot sign 90. So instead of math keyword or math, I am using m. So same way, if I want to take logarithm of 90, print m dot log 90. Similarly, if I want square root of 90, m dot 90. Similarly, print m dot pi, so it is a 3.14. Like this, we can have one more method like selective import. So that means from import statement is used to import particular attribute from a module. So that means whenever we want a specific module, then we have to go with a selective import. So that means I want, like for example, from math import sine, log and pi only. So from the math library or from the math module, we are just importing sine, log and pi. So in that case, in this statement already it is imported, so I can use it directly, print sine 55, log 55, pi 55. Like that, we can use as a selective import method. So let us understand this in a Python prompt. Yes, check this. From math module, I am just importing sine, log and pi. Now let us have, if I want to print pi. Yes, I am getting the value of 3.14. Suppose I want print log 90. Yes, now I am getting the value. Now suppose I want print yes. Now why I am getting an error? That name is not defined because the E is present in a math module but which is not imported not now. So that it gives me the error, the name E is not defined. Okay. In this way, from the selective import, we can import any modules in the Python programming. So try this. Thank you so much.